17th in the Premier League, champions of Europe, injury crisis, heated debate between the fan base, Ange in, Ange out narrative. This is how I would summarize Tottenham season. Guys, we have a lot to talk about. But before that, let me just show you the last game, like 4-1 Brighton. Spurs didn't want to play, they were destroyed, like defensively horrible. Even though I think Spurs could have scored like 2-3 goals in this game, I'm not even kidding. Like, tell Mr. Chance he shouldn't be missing. But like, to be honest, guys, nothing care about this game. Let's go into my general thoughts. Just wanted to show you that in the last game, Tottenham played as badly as they played throughout the season. So anyway, no one cares. Okay, guys, let's start with the bad things. After the bad things, I will obviously say positive things because I don't like, oh, everything is horrible, everything is amazing. No, let's try to rationalize here. So football-wise, it's hard to see what Spurs wants to be, what the club wants to be. Because, for example, if you think of Atletico Bilbao, for example, they want the team to be composed of players from the youth system. Players are connected to the story of the Basque country. They have an identity. What is Spurs' identity? I don't know what Spurs wants to be as style of play, as, I don't know, like anything. I have no idea. I know Spurs are very organized in making money, like promoting all those events and stuff. I know this, but like a football club is not only about money, it is about football, or it's mostly about football actually. Also, Spurs, something that is horrible in my opinion, is that Spurs, and by the way, when I say they or Spurs, I mean the board, because Levy, guys, let's be honest, I mean Levy. Like, decisions based on results rather than performance, because that is especially horrible in football, because in football, the results don't go alongside with performances in a lot of times. So when it depends only on results to make a decision, it's completely almost random. Because, for example, Europa League final, because people are saying, oh, Levy will sack Ange if he loses the Europa League final. But let's say Mina won, like in 10 minutes, Richarlison's light tackle someone and get a red card. How will you say, oh, that's Ange fault? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That just shows a lack of planning. I'm talking about Ange, by the way. Reports say the board are doubtful about whether to keep Ange or not, which just shows zero conviction, guys. By the way, guys, I'm not saying they should have sacked Ange or like anything like that. I'm just saying that there's no conviction, because even now, after the trophy, they still are in that, like, they're still doubtful on whether to keep him or not. But anyway, guys, let's go to the next topic, because only this Ange in, Ange out debate narrative, it deserves probably an exclusive 20 minutes video. I'm not 20 minutes, but like a whole video about it. So slowing the market, even in emergencies. I think they should have signed players way earlier, like when the injury crisis started. That, like, it was an emergency. They needed to sign players, not necessarily to support Ange, but like because you need players to play matches. That is completely obvious. And they saw, like, the board saw the manager having to improvise players to play players when they're not 100% fit, etc. So I think that's a total lack of planning, lack of conviction. Also, they didn't want to spend. I don't know. I don't know what is worse, lack of conviction or not wanting to spend. I don't know. Spurs have good players, but a lack of depth in the squad. When I say depth, I mean that you don't see players on the bench that are so good. Not like at the same level, literally the same level, but like at a closer level compared to the starting 11. For example, if Romero gets injured, I'm desperate. Like, everyone is desperate because he is so good. And okay, now they signed Danso and blah blah. But like, I trust 3 centre backs in the whole squad. I trust Romero, Van de Ven, and Danso. Like, I do not trust Davies. I do not trust Dragoshin. I do not trust Gray, improviser centre back. So that is a clear lack of depth. But I think that this thing occurs way more in certain positions, like centre back, left back, or you can also say, but like they have Spence, and Spence can play as a left back, which is totally true. But the problem is, then you don't have like a reserve or substitute for the right back. then you have this problem. Whereas, for example, in the CM position, you have a lot of players like Benson Cole. For me, in my opinion, Benson Cole is more a CM than a DM. Bergvall, Kulu can play there, Madsen can play there, Sa, Gray can play as CM. So basically a lot of options for the same position, and some positions you don't have like 2 players that you can trust. And the hard truth that no one wants to hear is that Spurs were playing consistently way before the injury crisis. In the first 11 matches in the Premier League, you see 5 wins, 1 draw, 5 losses. How is this consistent? That is inconsistent, guys. Like at the beginning of the Premier League, losing points against Crystal Palace, Leicester, Brighton. I believe they lost against Brighton as well. I think those are the things that were the bad things that I had to say about the season. So to think positively, throughout the season we saw glimpses of what some players can do, at least individually. And Kulu showed Kulu is an amazing CM/AM. Like when Spurs play with 3 in the midfield, I think he just plays amazingly when he's fit, obviously. By the way, everything I'm gonna say about the individual players, or the players individually, is considering them fit. So Romero and Van de Ven fit, world class. They're just so good as a duo. Like they complete each other in a way that is just amazing. Like they're so, I think they are like the 3rd best centre-back duo in the league. I'm gonna say this, like quality-wise. Porro, and again another season, Pedro Porro, like he is just so good. 13 goal contributions in the team that for most of the time we're not even caring about the Premier League anymore. And I could talk about a lot of players like Kulu said, Madsen, Solanke was criticized at the beginning, but he showed he is very good. Brendan Johnson, always criticized, always delivers numbers. Bergvall as well. By the way, I had to stop the video, do something, but like I have no idea what I was talking about. I believe it was about Bergvall, right? Basically, he is amazing. He's a baller. He has an insane potential. I believe he will probably be like an 80/90 million pounds player in the future, in like 5 years. That said, I wanted to talk about Ange because Ange kept the promise of winning a trophy, and like that was extremely important for Tottenham, because when you think about a good season, you think about trophies, okay? You also think about good football, and he did not deliver this. He didn't deliver good football, but like he got a trophy, in a European trophy. It's not like, oh, he got the Carabao Cup. No, he got like a big trophy. Let me see. I'm gonna say after Champions League and the Premier League, probably Europa League was like the 3rd best title or best trophy, or the 3rd biggest trophy someone could get, like regarding the English clubs. Will this be enough to keep him at the club? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not being serious. So Champions League next season, that was just extremely important, because when you go to Champions League, it's not like the money you make from selling tickets. It's not only that, it's also that, but like you make money, like television money. You get your image exposed in the world way more than you get in the Europa League. And also players want to play for clubs that play in the Champions League, because they want to play the big matches, the European big matches. And I totally understand that, and I think that will facilitate signing good players who can dispute a spot in the first 11, let's say, or starting 11. And also because of this, there is no excuse on not signing players. Like there is zero excuse. Levy, the board, Tottenham, I don't care. Like they need to sign players. They need to sign, good signings, not only youngsters who have a lot of potential. That is also important. Like Gray, Bergvall, I never know how to say his name. Odebear, they are extremely important because they have a lot of potential. But potential means a quality that you have in the future in the football world, not something that you have now. And I think in this transfer window, that's what Spurs need to sign. So guys, that was the video. Leave a comment if you want. You can share with a friend, you can just subscribe, you can do whatever you want. Okay, bye.